James, you said you ended up getting the grilled cheese.
Yeah, grilled cheese and bacon. It was pretty good.
Oh, he had bacon on it.
Yes.
Spoiled.
It was funny because I had this like big giant plate. It was actually my breakfast. Like I didn't eat anything before that.
Yeah.
And so I have this big giant plate, and James is just like sitting there looking at me eat it because he eats slow, right?
Yeah.
But I think very good pacing. Like he knew exactly when to take the first bite, and he had about like a minute or two in between and stuff. And like, yeah, I don't know.
We finished at the exact same time,
Oh,
so
that's
that's all
cute.
I'm saying is...
You know what they say? Couples who finish together.
Stay together. So there's just like only so much that you can kind of deal with. I'm just like, we get it, and
You don't get it. You don't get it,
It's just
Steve.
unbelievable.
We all know you don't get it.
And that's kind of how I guess my evening or day has been so far. So I'm just trying to
James, how about you?
wind down.
Pretty good. You know, we went to dinner with you. That's about it.
Oh, that's
I love
romantic.
how we're calling it dinner. It's like it was like 4:00.
Oh, that's dinner time.
That's
It was
old,
breakfast.
That's old man dinner.
We ate breakfast.
What'd you guys end up having?
Breakfast.
Just
He had
breakfast.
a grilled
Grilled
cheese.
cheese.
I think like what was peculiar about the interaction was our waitress.
She cute?
She no,
Not really.
she came to our table, and she said, "Ladies first," and I gestured towards James because like, funny, okay, whatever. But then like we had our meal and whatever, and then she kept going with him. Like you figure like one time it's funny,
Yeah.
okay, whatever. But like there were like a good 8 to 10 instances of her like trying to.
Make it a date.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Trying
And I
to-
tried to like fire back a little bit. Like she was like, "Oh, well, aren't you supposed to pay for her or whatever?" And I said, "Oh, when he starts putting out, we'll see." But then like she just kept going with it, and it was like it got uncomfortable. So I just like walked out. I don't know what she said afterwards. Like I paid and left, and then she was like still trying to like carry this dead joke along, and I'm like, "Oh man, like." You know, it's cool that we were like okay with it, but like imagine if we weren't, and like she was just like whatever.
Yeah, just
It was really awkward, but whatever.
that's hilarious.
How did you feel, James? Did you feel it was awkward?
At the end, like,
I didn't even feel awkward with you. Like we'll make those jokes all day, but like
Yeah.
she just like would not stop.
I guess when it's like third party that's
when
involved.
she came out trying to make like a Dragon Ball Z reference, was like, oh, this is cringe.
She was making a
Oh,
Dragon
I didn't
Ball
even hear
re-
that one.
Oh, like as soon as she came up, she's like
Yeah.
comic, like trying to.
Oh my god, I
tried to do that.
didn't even
Shut
get
up.
that.
Yeah, like
Seriously?
like that was her first interaction. I was like, that was the cringiest thing I've ever seen.
That was
in
like
my
right before she asked.
I would have just like
Yeah.
politely got up, pushed my seat back in, wipe off my face, and just like slapped her across the face.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I didn't even get that reference. I thought she was
Being weird.
making a joke about how she was like coming back to take our order too quick or something. Oh man, that's like 10 times worse. That piled on top of her like heteronormative making fun of. Oh wow, that's so annoying. Oh,
That's weird.
well, good thing I didn't get that joke while I was there. I don't know.
was
James
gonna-
was way too polite about that.
I was gonna
Cool.
say, like, did she actually like think you guys were a couple, or is she just kind of just like,
I think she was just making jokes.
no?
But
Just-
like, you know, it's funny to some level, but you know, we were
I guess if it comes to be more like repeated, it gets a little
Yeah.
tiresome. I'm just like, man, just serve my damn food. Like,
well, she did. Like there was nothing wrong with it, but like she just like would not let up on that
Yeah.
shit. Whatever. It's over. It was an alright breakfast.
Let me tell you about my Monday.
Okay, let's hear about it.
Oh, wait. Hang on a second. Welcome to another episode of Hotline Hangout. My name is Shane, and I'm joined today by the fabulous, the wonderful James.
Hello. Welcome back to this okay
James.
podcast that we do.
Welcome back to my house. And we're also joined by fellow co-host, Steven Extraordinaire, Stevie.
How's it going, everybody? I am Steven.
Wow, he give you the Stevie salute. Fantastic. Excellent. Boys, James, tell us about your Monday.
So, we have this friend named Jake.
Wait, is it the Jake that I know, or is
No,
it
no,
okay?
no. Well, you
Is it-
probably
You
don't
know
remember.
Jake.
Do I
Steve
know?
doesn't
Okay.
remember people.
Yeah.
The Jake that we went to his house like a few times. Like,
Steve, don't try to explain. Steve doesn't know people.
Okay, Jake. Yes.
okay, so he's up the smartest.
Steve already forgot.
Well, let's not name drop. Let's call him
Jake.
Bake.
we already said his name.
He listens to the podcast. How's it going, Jake?
Hello.
So he wants me. He says, "Do you want to hang out today? And do you mind driving me to the grocery store?" I'm like, "You know what? I can do that for you."
Okay, that's
So we
thoughtful.
go. I go to his house. I pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know how to get to the grocery store from here. Where do I go?
Oh my God, yes. That's one thing that I learned about
No,
James.
let him go.
Okay,
James doesn't know. You don't know who people are. James doesn't know where the fuck he is. Ever.
That's exactly it. Like he
You
lived.
guys compliment each other.
He lived here for how long have you lived here? Like
Well,
13 years.
I lived in Leamington,
Oh, well, it's whatever, close enough. How long have you
What?
actually stayed like within city?
like a year,
Okay. Oh, wait,
a
what?
year or two.
Seriously, I thought it was like a lot longer than that.
No,
But yeah, I was gonna say like your idea of like navigation, like getting around, like it's non-existent.
well, you have Google Maps. Like, why do you need to know if you have Google Maps? I will do all of it for you.
Okay. All right. Point being, you're taking your friends out to the store.
Okay, so we go down to the pretty much the grocery store. Okay.
Every time I'm editing these podcasts, it's just James' hand in his face.
And like it's so
Oh,
funny
man.
because you catch it on like the other cameras and everything too. That's what
Yeah.
I've noticed with the other episodes. But yeah, continue.
Anyway.
Anyways,
do it.
so when the streets closed, so he's like, "Okay, turn here." And then when we turn, and he's like, "I'm like, okay, where do we go from here?" He's like, "Turn on the street called Patricia." So I turn on this street. We go up this ramp, and we go directly on the Ambassador Bridge, going to the U.S. So as we're on the bridge, I'm like, I don't have my passport. He doesn't have his passport.
James has a passport, but he didn't have it with him.
Yeah.
Jake does not own a passport.
I think Jake owns one.
Oh, does he? Oh, okay.
I'm not 100% sure. But neither of us have a passport. You know, we don't want to go to the U.S. today.
Yeah.
All we want to do is go to the grocery store. So it takes us about a half hour to get to the U.S. side. And we're like, okay, we didn't mean to come here. Can you send us back? He's like, fine. You have to go through secondary checking. And I was like, fine.
Prep that anus.
So we go through secondary checking. As soon as I get out of the car, I'm wearing my like classic shorts and beanie combo. So he's the one security officer's like, "Why are you wearing a toque?" And I'm like, "It's comfy."
Oh, we just feel like, man, like
James like, I haven't showered in 3 weeks.
you're like just the oils in my hair and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, like I don't have anything else to hold back my hair. That's the excuse I would have just gave.
It's the only thing that keeps my hair intact.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
keep it
anyways,
back, yeah.
we go in. So then my driver's license says not valid. Only pictures valid.
Wow, are you kidding me?
Yes. So I left the paper in my car, and I can't go get it because the car's getting
Yeah.
checked. So I'm just like, oh my god, this is terrible.
This
So
isn't even the worst part. He was with Jake.
Oh, okay. I remember Jake. Yeah. Okay.
Jake is the kind of person who doesn't really say sir or ma'am.
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with border people,
Yeah.
you want them to say sir or ma'am. He's like, "What's up, bro?" I'm just like, "Oh my god,
Oh Jesus.
oh my god." And I'm like, they ask us, "Oh, have you been arrested?" He's like, "Yes." And I'm just like,
You're like, this is new to me.
and you want to know the worst part? They eventually let us in their country.
Really?
Yes,
They let him in.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just like
boy.
imagine that. I had no passports. All I
Yeah.
had was a driver's license and a health card. And they didn't
A
let-
driver's license that reads invalid with a car.
Yeah,
You have an
yeah, I-
invalid driver's
Yeah,
license
I
with a
never,
car.
I never got the page for the guy. He just believed me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, the page is in my car. He's like, okay.
That's amazing. I was gonna say like we told
Like-
the story before of how we got like
So,
stopped.
well, so here's the thing though. Just get this.
Yeah.
Before we tell that story.
No, you're
So James tells me that to get Jake from his house,
Mm-hmm.
run into this issue, go back, do grocery shopping, and then drop him off at home again. It took
Yeah.
2 hours.
That's crazy.
And they didn't have a passport, didn't have anything. So the first time I crossed the border with Steve, they pulled us in and it was like hours long. Like we were just sitting there
Yeah.
doing fuck all for like 2 or 3 hours. It was maddening. And I'd never been like called in before like
Yeah.
that, like other than to like pay for things like taxes and stuff.
Yes.
But they were like, Murphy, that's a Mexican last name. We're gonna
It's like
We're
that
gonna,
Family
like,
Guy thing where it's like the color picture. It's like white.
Oh yeah, yeah, like the little color spectrum
Like
he has, that
okay,
little color
not
palette.
okay.
Oh my god. Yeah, so I think the reason why it took us so long in there was because they were like searching through their Mexican databases.
For
And they couldn't find anything, so they
Al
were like, oh, this is
Padre
fake.
Murphy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's actually really crazy. And like I heard a story too, like my friend was telling me, she was like, yeah, like I have no problem crossing the border at all. Like I show up and I just give them like my Costco card and they're like, okay, you're good to go. I was like, Jesus Christ, like I nearly have to give like a blood sample every time I want to cross over. And like I have like the cleanest record known to man. I don't do anything. I stay at home most of my time. And then like zero criminal record or anything. And yet I still have all this issues with everything. And it's so funny too. It kind of just brings me up to like another topic as well. It's just like I recently just had to actually like file for like for work and everything too for a criminal record check and a police clearance.
Sure.
I don't know why it's so much damn work just to prove that you're not a criminal. Like, have you guys ever had like experience with that? Like
To prove that I'm not a criminal?
yeah, like it's such like a big
No.
hassle and going around. It's so funny because like I had to like file for the whole like paperwork and everything too. I get my sector information back. It didn't have the correct, I guess like the correct information needed for it, so I had to redo it again and pay like another $60 for it. And it's like I think it was like the vulnerable sector check, and it's basically just says if you're like a sex offender or not and anything. And it's such like it's just a big runaround to go through the whole process just because this has to be like updated like annually. And
Yeah, it's so annoying. I've only had to get a police clearance like 2 or 3 times, and every time it's just like, hey, I need a police clearance. And like, okay, come back in a week. I go pick up a piece of paper and, that's it.
Yeah, like, well, I guess like this is kind of like the first time they're doing everything kind of like all online and everything.
Oh, okay.
So
well, at least that's easy. I have to go. I have to drive to Harrow every time.
Yeah, it's like a work in progress from, I guess, what I got from it. It's the turnaround time is like very fast. Like I got it within like 3 days or whatever business days after that happened. But like I was just like sitting there and I was like, man, like why is it such a damn process for someone who's like clearly innocent, doesn't have a damn like parking ticket on like their record. And
well, that's the thing, right? Is maybe you're too clean.
And then they're just like
you need to like throw some trash on the ground or park in a handicap spot or something like that.
Just get a ticket under my name.
So
and
it's like
that's
a decoy
just
criminal offense
I don't
or
know.
a non-criminal offense.
That was like one thing that was just kind of like irritating me. They're like this whole process, but yeah. And then after I hear like
you need to return to the scene of a crime just to like pique some suspicion.
Just so my name gets thrown up somewhere.
Because you're saying you had to like redo.
Oh yeah.
Like many times.
Like the money itself, like whatever. I'm more than happy to like throw around, pay it, whatever if I have to. But it just sucks just because like it's such a big hassle just to kind of prove your innocence when you obviously you have nothing.
I was gonna say though. So speaking of redoing things that don't suck, have you guys seen the trailer for the new trailer for the Final Fantasy VII remake?
Oh my god, that.
Boy,
like speechless.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like looking at the gameplay, and it's so weird because like I feel like I grew up in this place, and like all I have is these like pixelated images of like static backgrounds and stuff like that. And then you watch this movie, and you're just like, wow, like I remember that. I was there.
Yeah,
this is like a high definition rectangular re-rendering of my childhood. And then you look. One thing that I think is interesting about this trailer is like it follows like all the same stuff that like you're used to seeing and whatever. But like there's so many new things that maybe you don't even recognize or like even realize like were a part of the main story.
Yeah.
They've also kind of like changed around the politics a little bit and like kind of cleared up some maybe story holes or maybe things that you didn't think of. And then also in this trailer, there's like a new character that I don't recognize that nobody seems to recognize from Soldier.
Okay.
Like the blonde dude with long hair. He's clearly from Soldier, and he's got a soldier sword.
Yeah.
But like, who is he?
That's funny. I wonder if he's from like he's probably like one of the what is it? It's probably like the PSP annotation that came out. And there's like a whole background
Crisis Core?
Yeah, Crisis Core and all that as well.
I don't know.
Like Zack's
Have you
character and
played
stuff like
Crisis
that.
Core?
I played like a snippet of it, but like I've never really got to
This
finish
character
it.
is definitely not. This is a brand new character. Nobody knows. Nobody seems to be able to.
He's not on like Advent Children or anything like the movie or anything.
No.
Interesting.
Just a member of Soldier. Like they might have just kind of added him in to kind of like clear up the picture a little bit.
Yeah.
But they have like Reno, they have Rudy, they have Sang. I haven't seen Elena or like any.
Oh
of the
yeah.
Turks,
She didn't make a cameo,
but she doesn't really show up until later on in the game, anyways.
Till the
But
second
what's kind of
disc.
weird too is like you start to see in these ones, like there's Ifrit, Shiva.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if this trailer
for the
is just
Guardian
kind of like
Forces?
yeah. Well, no, they're just called summons in this one.
Oh, summons.
Materia.
Yeah.
That's Final Fantasy VIII.
GFs. Yeah.
Guardian Forces. Yeah, but yeah, you kind of you're seeing these, but like if you remember in the game, like you didn't get your first materia until Chocobo, the Chocobo farm.
Really?
Yeah, do you remember that? That was outside of Midgar.
I'm trying to think about that. Yeah.
Apparently, this game, Final Fantasy VII Remake, first disc, it only takes place in Midgar.
In Midgar, yeah, I
So
was
it's
actually
up
reading
until
that.
Shinra. Like basically, when you switch to disc 2, like it covers that whole first event. Actually, no,
Yeah.
wait. After you beat Shinra and Midgar, like you don't switch to disc 2. You come out and you go to Nilhelm or whatever. What is that place called? Place with the inn, and you guys go meet upstairs and
Oh, I
figure out
have
what you're
no
gonna
idea.
do. Yeah. Oh, I
I
can't
still never
remember.
played the game, so
Yeah. Oh wow, James, absolutely obsessed. Absolutely.
We should
obsessed.
just have like a sit down one day and just force James to kind of play like the classic before he plays the.
I
the remake.
did. Me and him went to Craft Heads last week, and I
I
was
was
playing.
zero interest.
What, you were actually playing?
I played a good like hour of
No.
the game.
Well, the hour is still just like the tutorial.
Oh my god, yeah, the Barrett tutorial on how
Yeah.
to use materia, absolute garbage. But yeah, there's some really cool stuff in this trailer, and I don't know. Also, one thing I heard was that they were like reducing Tifa's breasts.
Oh yeah,
because like people were
it was like
complaining
a
about
big
it.
controversy thing.
And then I'm just like, watching this trailer, and I'm like, man, they're still gigantic. Like, what are people complaining about?
Yeah.
Like, why does it matter?
Well, I think it's like the whole it's just like the whole misogyny thing to go along with it is like why is she portrayed as this? She's supposed to be like this like 16-year-old like girl or whatever, just like Eris.
Tifa?
Well, yeah, like
They're 16? No, they're like adults.
No, because like Eris in the game, she was actually supposed to be 14.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and so like they are younger.
That's crazy. Got a bunch
So-
of kids running this place. Yeah. What another thing that I think is cool too is like if you look at like the top down of like the slums, Sector 5 slums,
Yeah.
basically like it follows like the same shape.
Oh, like the same like
Even-
outline and everything.
Yeah, because like I remember these. Like these are just like so iconic for me, and I just like remember them like very clearly. And then
Yeah.
you look at these, and like I think for the most part they're playing like pretty true to the like original story.
Yeah.
But like some things have changed. Like for example, like a lot of the dialogue is different and everything.
Okay.
But like Shinra apparently right before the Buster guy or whatever, like he's a hologram, which I thought was kind of strange. But like as long as it doesn't change the story,
Yeah.
if he wants to show up as a hologram, sure, whatever. Also, another thing that I thought was kind of interesting is that Don or whatever, the Don,
Oh, okay.
Mark Hamill does his voice.
Yeah, that's what I was actually
that
just going to
dope?
bring that up. Is
Yeah.
did they actually say that he's doing the voice for it? Because
he
they were like
definitely is.
speculating.
No. Like they've announced it at this point. Yeah,
That's
but yeah, Mark
crazy.
Hamill's doing the voice here, and what's kind of cool about it is he does sound like the Joker a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, like when I listen to it, I'm like that voice sounds so familiar, and then I first thought the Joker, and then I was
Yeah.
like, oh no, that's totally Mark Hamill, which that's super cool because like
that's amazing. Because
like-
I grew up like on the Batman series, like the animated
I grew
series.
up with Star Wars and Final Fantasy VII, and now they're combined.
Well,
Somewhat.
because like I've never actually put like two and two like together before. Like I didn't know that like Mark Hamill actually like
did the Joker?
did the Joker's voice.
Oh,
Like
wow.
it sounded so familiar. I was like, who the hell is Mark Hamill? Who is that? Then got a little bit older, and I was like, oh yeah.
You know what I'm
he's
kind of
in
wondering though is like A, how many parts is this game going to be, and B, something that I just kind of thought of was like when Shinra dies and
Yeah.
like Rufus Shinra becomes like the proprietor or whatever of Shinra, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that going to happen in this game? Like,
I don't know. Like
yeah,
I,
'cause,
I
like-
think it's because I'm guaranteeing that the first disc is going to be like crazy stretched. They're going to add like all the new features and everything too with it. Like they're going to prolong it. They may even have like a prior to getting to like Midgard. Like it's just not going to start.
no,
how the
you
original
start in Midgar. You start off the train, dude. The game starts exactly the same. That first mission
But-
is 100% identical.
Well, you got to put it in consideration too, because like you only have the first disc for this whole like the whole thing just can't be like a big demo disc
Well,
beforehand.
no,
you know
it's
what I
not a
mean?
big demo disc, but like they've added new bosses. For example, like in
Yeah.
the church scene with Ares, Reno is a boss now,
Oh yeah, I've seen that
you
the little
fight him,
fighting combat and
and
everything
like
too.
Rude is also a boss. And like
Yeah.
you gotta imagine, like you're going all the way through like the Shinra
Yeah.
headquarters. You got like the different floors, different levels. They probably have like a few extra floors they added in because like those floors were mostly just puzzles. They didn't like add too much
Yeah.
to the story, so they might throw in some like Easter eggs there or something like that. To like add some length to it or whatever. But this game is supposed to be about 40 hours long just by itself.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, how do you accomplish that? To kind of do they just add more like CGI scenes? Is it just like pure gameplay 40 hours long, or is it like just all inclusive?
I have no idea.
Because
Probably all inclusive.
you think so?
They probably it's probably all inclusive, but they probably like added like a bunch of like missions and stuff to
Yeah.
do or whatever. Because like they have this like area in this world that like you can explore now and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Well, because that's
And like
I
it's
think
beautiful. Have you the music is amazing.
yeah.
The imagery is gigantic. Oh,
I was gonna say because like Final Fantasy's never really kind of let us down for like the actual orchestra, like how the way they orchestrate the music itself with all the series. Like I love Final Fantasy X's like soundtrack. Like I bought it, I got it on Spotify. I got all that as well.
I love Final Fantasy X.
It's like great studying music.
7 and 10 are probably my favorite soundtracks.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know. Like there's so much like additives to it as well. Because like let's say if it is broken down to multiple pieces, if it's just gonna be like DLC content and everything too with it later. Because guaranteed the next couple of discs are going to be all the free range, taking on the mega weapons and everything too. But
I hope it is open world at a point, because like that was like a dividing piece. There was that the first area was like closed world. You had a path to travel in and whatever.
Yeah.
And then like the second part of it was like the free world stuff. And then even the third disc for this wasn't really much. Like the only thing you did in the third disc was like the Northern Crater stuff. Basically, you still had access to the rest of the game if you wanted to like go around and like finish side quests and stuff like that. But like the Northern Crater was like your primary task in the third disc. Okay. And you got to imagine these discs. You know what's insane about this is this game is going to play for like 40 hours or something like that, right?
Yeah.
These games came out on CDs in 1997.
Oh yeah.
CDs held like let's say 700 megabytes total. So with like even though Northern Crater was just like one topic or whatever, but like this whole game was housed on 2.1 gigabytes. Absolutely
That's
insane.
Yeah, because like I was reading an article that were talking about like how the ratings itself it got, it was like Metacritics and whatnot, it got like 92%. On GameStop's one of their sister sites they got like a 95. But even
for Final Fantasy VII,
I
think Final Fantasy VII is like one of the only games. Like IGN, I think gave it a 10 out of 10.
So even
or
going
is it 9.5?
It's probably like 9.5, I would assume, because even going through with that, I lost my train of thought. It's very remarkable too, especially when it first came out in like 1997. How revolutionary like the 3D graphics that they're actually implementing into this game. Like they really maxed out the capabilities of what the original PlayStation could actually handle and do, which is very when you watched it, like your mind was blown, especially even though they're just polygon shapes and everything just running around, but like just the aesthetics and everything with it.
It's crazy too, like looking at Barrett's arm, like not just like a block. Cause like in the game, I never really thought of Barrett as like having a gun arm. Like I knew that he didn't have an arm and that he didn't have a weapon, but they never like played it up too much. He might as well just have been holding a gun, right? Up until he had his story where his arm got ripped off or whatever. But then like in this, when you actually see him with like the gun arm, like the machine gun strapped to his arm. Yeah. Oh man, that's so cool. Although two of the people's voices are kind of weird. Like Barrett, like his voice is strange. Like it's not what I imagine.
Really?
Like it's kind of what I imagine, but it's like pitched up a little bit. Like I feel like it should be a little bit deeper and maybe a little bit more like
I could
serious.
see that, yeah.
Because he kind of sounds dumb almost. He's like, "Oh, I'm Barrett. I got a gun on my arm," and then like I don't know. I pictured him more like calm, collected, like smooth, and then rude.
Yeah.
He had a few lines in the trailer too, and I was just like, this is so weird. That's like funny. I don't remember him. Like I don't even have a voice for him in my head.
I was gonna say like it's so funny that the voice he just did of Barrett. It reminded me of going back to Dragon Ball Z. It reminded me of Mr. Satan.
Oh my god, yeah. He does kind of sound like that.
He has
but
that
like
type
Barrett
of,
is like one of the big characters. Like he's serious. He's got like a tragic past and stuff like that. Right, James?
Like everything leading to.
Yep, I knew everything what you're talking about.
Like concurred.
That's good.
Chobos.
That's all you need.
Are you gonna pre-order?
No.
You bet your ass I'm gonna pre.
I'm pre-ordering the deluxe edition.
Adult edition? Oh yeah.
The deluxe edition with like the steel case and stuff. I want the book. I want the strategy.
Oh yeah, wasn't it like I think I seen it already going. Is it like 109, 110? Yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah. Honestly, I'll definitely throw it on.
Did you see the 15-minute demo as well?
Yeah, I was watching that plus like the gameplay and everything with it. It's very unique. Like I love the aesthetics how they did it. It's kind of like Final Fantasy 12 strategy meets Final Fantasy 15.
Oh yeah. I feel like I've been here before too. Like it
Yeah.
actually is like bringing back like nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's so weird. I don't think I felt this excited about a video game in like so long. Because like it's even just this trailer here, just looking at this, like I feel like the reactor is so familiar just being inside this reactor, and it's giant now, right? Like the old reactor, like it, you knew that the character was a large character filling up a small space, but now it's like you're a normal sized character filling up a gigantic, massive area.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say like, cause like the only game that I really pre-anticipated for something like similar to like the feeling that I get for this one was like, have you ever played like the Kingdom Hearts series?
Oh yeah,
It's still created by like Disney and Square Enix. But yeah, because I think at the first time the first one released, I think it was still SquareSoft if I'm not mistaken, and then obviously the whole bot out and everything, and Square Enix.
One thing that's cool about the trailer here too is like you kind of see where. Like when you played Final Fantasy VII, you had no idea about Crisis Core and like any of that story or whatever. You knew Zack was a character, and then he kind of came from there.
At that time when Final Fantasy VII came, like that wasn't even mentioned, or that came out. Like,
but you knew about Zack
afterwards.
from the game.
Yeah, you heard about.
You didn't
it,
know about Angeal though, or like all the other things, like whatever. But so when you're standing in front of the reactor right before the scorpion, like there's like a ringing noise.
Yeah.
And then he falls to his knees. He gets up, and then he starts the bomb, and then the scorpion comes.
Yeah.
Well, in the trailer here, like a black feather falls down, and like. I don't exactly remember who that's supposed to represent, but I think it represents Angeal because he's like the
Really?
because in Final Fantasy Crisis Core, it was either Angeal or the other main guy. But like he kind of like gets black wings and then like right before he dies or whatever. And then it's meant to like maybe represent Angeal a little bit or
Could
something.
have been like a spin-off or play-off of like the anticipation of like Sephiroth. Because
Well,
like
no,
that's
because-
also his like homage too. Because even like in all the other, let's say like Kingdom Hearts, when he has like a secret character appears, that's like his signature. When you have that like one wing or that one feather just floats down.
Yeah,
and
but
then he,
usually
like,
it's a white
appears.
feather. And like
It's-
Sephiroth, did he ever have a black feather?
I
like
think he did,
Angeal, I'm fairly certain had black wings.
Maybe.
So I
'Cause
think
it's,
it
like,
was
the
him.
counterpart
I don't
or
know why
whatnot.
that's sticking with me. I'm gonna have to look it up, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool how there's kind of like a tie back to different parts of the game.
Bring it all
Another thing I'm
together.
hoping for too is like the mini characters. Like I hope Vincent isn't just part of the story now. Like I want to find him.
Yeah.
Same with Yuffie,
Oh yeah. Yuffie.
Yuffie,
There you
whatever. Yuffie. No, it's Yuffie.
Yeah, because they weren't technically supposed to be like main part of the roster itself. Like they were just like
Oh,
unlockables.
yeah. Vincent
like,
had his
Easter
own damn
eggs.
spin-off game though.
Well, yeah. Well,
He was hard to get, kind of.
yeah, that was the one that came out for PlayStation 2, wasn't it? The shoot 'em up game.
Dirge of Service.
Yeah, the shoot 'em up game.
Dirge of
Basically, it was kind of like
Cerberus.
a knockoff of
Yeah.
what's it, Devil May Cry that I found. But that was still pretty fun. Like I
was
was
alright.
playing it. Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, moving on. Oh
Enough
man, we could
geeking
talk
out.
about like Final Fantasy VII for like.
That could just be like a whole like episode itself. There's just so much to kind of go through, talk about. Like, but the only thing, I guess, one last comment on it.
Oh, Steve's going on a loop.
One last comment on it
Stuck.
is the price variance. How would you feel about it paying $70, $80 just for a partial of the game itself?
So here's the thing: is like if it comes with some DLC, like generally Square, like
Yeah.
even Final Fantasy 15, the DLC was like $30,
Okay.
which not bad. You got like a lot of content for $30. Final Fantasy 7 Remake, if it has a DLC for the first game that like adds something or whatever, sure, I'll pay $30. If it's gonna be 3 games,
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit unfair. I think they're squeezing there.
Yeah.
They're trying to like squeeze the most out of they can out of it. And like sure, like I'll pay for it and stuff, but like I don't think it's fair. I know that Midgar was like a pretty big place and whatever, but like if you're just doing like world map stuff and like a lot of these other places like really small towns, like Midgar is easily the largest place that you'll explore, other than maybe the golden saucer. Is that what it's called?
The golden, the
The golden
playground.
saucer. Midgar is easily the biggest place that you'll explore besides that. So I don't understand why you would need to make it 3 discs, right?
Well, because
Especially if you want to divide the
yeah,
story up.
if they're stretching it out, if they're still playing true to the homage of the original content,
Mm-hmm.
but then just kind of breaking it up in a little bit, but adding a little bit more to kind of prolong and keep it a little
Yeah.
bit going.
Especially because like that's the thing is it's a remake. I want like I said before, I want this to be an identical story. I
Oh,
want it
like
to be
a carbon
100%
copy, yeah.
identical. I just want it to be in high def. If they want to add stuff, it seems like the things that they've added so far have been like pleasing.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna like take stuff out and then like stretch it up and like make up new story and shit and like
Yeah.
cause more problems and whatever. Like,
I don't know.
I just want to play the same story, dude.
I'm
I
definitely
wanna,
just pre-anticipating to
I
see
want
how
to know
much.
what HD Genova looks like. Like, I'm curious, man.
He like rips her
It's
out.
like so many different things, yeah. Or the, like the Genova birth, like the one that
Yeah.
you fight on the boat and stuff, whatever. Anyways,
I'm definitely wanting and anticipating just to see how they actually do for sales because like I think the original copy sold for 11 million units. So
11 million units. Hey,
Yeah,
speaking of sales and 11, the iPhone 11. Ugh, I don't know how I feel about this. So that was just like announced and launched or whatever. I reluctantly had to upgrade because my phone is crapping out on me. But reason I want to talk about it is because I don't know. I think Apple has kind of come up with some pretty neat services that I probably will subscribe to, and especially with the iPhone 11 now, you get like a year of like basically Apple's version of Netflix for free.
yeah,
And it comes with like all these shows and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think the iPhone 11 is like a huge upgrade as far as phones go, but as far as like my service provider goes, they actually stock them now, so I can not pay full price for a phone. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. But what was I gonna say in here? Have you seen the Apple Arcade?
Apple Arcade.
Yeah. So it's like a subscription game service.
Oh yeah,
It's like
that's-
$5
yeah,
a
okay,
month.
Yeah,
And like there's no in-app purchase or anything like that. You just get to play games. And like it's I don't know. I just think that's so cool. And they're gonna add a whole bunch of games to it and stuff like that. I think that's really neat.
do they already have like a browsable library of what they're in?
I don't think it's browsable yet. They did demo a few games at the event.
Because I know Konami signed up for it.
Yeah,
but
Konami is one of them.
Konami signs up for pretty much
Which-
anything.
Yeah, Konami's everywhere.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know. Some of these titles are cool. What I like about it though is that it's $5 a month, $60 a year roughly, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about in-app purchases. Like in-app purchases are like the thing that like threw me off so much about games on mobile. Because like I used to buy like Game Boys, PlayStations, this and that, and whatever.
Yeah.
PlayStation Portable, all that stuff, Nintendo DS, and eventually phones came out, like good phones,
Yeah.
and I started playing games on there, and I was loving it. And then it started to be like in-app purchases and stuff, and like even if you don't want to spend money, you spend $1 here and there, or whatever, and it just like annoyed me that like I can't enjoy this game unless I spend money on it.
So the arcade process for the actual this feature that they're actually introducing, do you think it's actually targeted and marketed towards, let's say, like
Casual gamers,
yeah,
probably.
knowing adults, or just like more or less towards like children base?
I have no idea. I don't know what the
Probably children
niche is
based.
for it.
Yeah.
But there's probably going to be something or whatever. I think though that okay, so get this. Like you have one person that spends $100 a month on in-app purchases or whatever.
Okay.
But let's say $1,000, right? And then you have one person who spends $1,000 a month, and then you have 100 people who spend nothing, right? Well, what if you could get 1 million people to sign up and pay $5 a month, right? Like instead of relying on those like whale customers who like
Yeah.
are going to spend a lot of money and most customers won't.
Yeah.
Instead, you kind of split the cost between everybody and you get everybody involved in the ecosystem.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of what their goal maybe is. I don't know how much people spend on apps anyways, but generally for me, if I see the word in-app purchases,
Yeah.
I look and see what they are. If they're anything other than like, well, you can unlock this feature permanently and then it's done. Like I use an app for iPhone called Filmic.
Okay.
And it costs like $20. It's a very expensive app in the first place, but I bought it because it's great. And then they have an in-app purchase for just like unlocking like a set of features in it, and that's once. I paid for this like 3 years ago, and they've never made me pay again.
Oh wow.
It's fantastic. But like if they were like, there are other apps like there's this one called like Enlight Photo Leap or something, or they have Adobe products in there that
Okay.
like do like a subscription model, and it's like, well, you can get the app, but in order to do anything really useful with it, you got to pay like $10 a month or something. And it's like, no, I'm not paying
Wow.
like $10 a month to use my phone. And then you have all these apps competing, and it's like, well, if you want to use the features on this one and then use some on this one, then like you have to pay double or whatever. I don't know. That just annoys me. I don't want to deal with that at all.
I don't know. Like, to me, it just doesn't seem worth it for the even upgrades itself. Like, that's what apparently like I've been kind of doing like loose reading about it. It still doesn't seem like, I don't know. I think I just lost like the spunk of like these smartphones and everything
Spunk.
too.
Oh man.
It's just, it doesn't appease to me at all. Like there's no reason for me
Yeah.
to change or upgrade for it.
I know how you feel. like we were talking earlier
Yeah.
about, like when phones like used to come out, like when the iPhone originally came out, I was like so excited.
Yeah.
I don't even think it was because I was young. I think it was just because like, you know, the original iPhone was like a revolutionary product. And then, you know, as time went on, like I was still excited about the time like the iPhone 4 came out because like it was a huge improvement over like the iPhone 3 or whatever. And then like, you know, all the other ones started to come out and stuff, and I became like less and less excited as time went on. And then now I didn't even really want to upgrade. Like I wasn't really in the market or anything. And then phone crapped out on me. Apple said they couldn't fix it, and it would cost me like $400 to do it again. And I was just like, like it's gotten to the point now, as far as phones go, that like now it's like kind of a necessity every now and then. Like you gotta upgrade, and it's like, at least they didn't make me change my plan though, because like I remember that used to like keep me holding onto a phone for longer, or at the very least I would just pay cash. But now they're like, yeah, you know, we're gonna knock like $500 off the purchase price, we'll split up the rest of the payments over 24 months, and you can just pay it off whenever you want or whatever, which I don't know, that's awesome. You don't have to pay interest, it's not on a credit card, you just pay your bill like normal every month, and bam, good to go.
Interesting.
But I do think that their services that they announced are cool. Like that, I wasn't expecting that. I didn't read about it at all, but I'm totally going to sign up for the Apple TV Plus one. The show with Jason Momoa in it, See, that show looks so cool, man. Basically where they don't have, like, nobody has vision, and then babies start getting born with vision again, and like basically there's like a tribe of people who want to like kill all these babies and make sure that they don't get to breed and like, you know, breed vision back into the world. And then you got like another tribe of people who are trying to figure out like, well, do we want to protect these babies and risk our lives, or do we want to just give them up? And I don't know, man. The trailer doesn't go like super deep into like the narrative of it, but it definitely looks like Game of Thrones kind of style. And I don't know, I'm just all about it. Also, Jason Momoa is in it. The guy's great.
And his dad bod.
Oh, he doesn't have a dad bod.
Oh yeah, he doesn't.
Compared to Steve, he does. Steve's a hunk.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you.
Steve's dad bod.
Yeah, because I was actually watching the trailer. It's definitely, you guys should view that trailer itself. It's just called See. Apple TV Plus, was it?
Yeah, it's coming out November 1st.
So that's one thing that I was kind of trying to raise about. It's just like, you know, how every other network and program now are coming up with their own type of network and station or streaming station. I don't know. Like, has it got to the point where it's just becoming too overbearing at this point? Like, how do you feel about that?
I have lots of opinions about this. So I definitely do think that we're kind of like going overboard a little bit here. But okay, so, and I'm not like really like an Apple fanboy or anything like that, but I like what Apple's kind of doing here, or what I think they're doing. Maybe I'm ignorant, but we'll see. Apple is creating original content, and they've promised on their platform that they're going to be releasing new original content every month. But it's not like Netflix, where Netflix licenses the like ABC or whatever, like where they have a rotating stream of content. Like Netflix mixes their content in with everybody else's content, and then, you know, some of them are Netflix originals and stuff like that or whatever. But Apple, I'm pretty sure it's all original content. They have like 20 or 30 shows launching to start, and then they're going to put new ones up every month. And so it's kind of like a value add to their thing, right? Because like if you keep subscribed, then like you pay $5 a month. $5 is like a minimal amount, and you get to watch all these shows. So you know, and they all seem like really good, like pretty decent. Like you got like big names launching it too. You got like Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell, and I forget, Reese Witherspoon in one of the other shows, which seems like it'd be an okay show. I don't remember what it was about, but you know, that show looks cool too. You got Jason Momoa in this show that has like a ridiculous production value. Like it looks like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it does look like.
And you know how long it took
season 8.
Oh yeah, and you know how long it took Game of Thrones to start throwing that kind of money into their shows, right? So
because I was gonna say, because like they're releasing so soon as well, because it looks like, by the looks of it, November they're aiming for. 2019.
Oh yeah, but they've been making this stuff for forever.
Well, yeah. Obviously, they probably had it pre-anticipated of what they're gonna do, so
They've
they
probably
knew
been
their
making this
launch
stuff for
dates and
years.
everything.
Plus, it's Apple, right? So they probably had like 20 productions all going on at the same time, and said, "Here's your due date."
It's so funny because like this is kind of like the first time I'm actually like hearing about like their streaming platform now, and usually this stuff kind of gets like preemptively like leaked prior to like their conferences and everything like that.
I think that
it's just nobody cared.
Floating around with this idea. Like I think people knew that they were thinking about something.
'Cause,
Nobody knew this structure though.
Yeah, because like the thing is like you're gonna come. I don't know if November should be like the best time for them to release it because you got to keep in mind you have Disney releasing their platform Disney Plus.
Well,
That's coming out in November. You
So
have
Apple and Disney have like a shared interest in each other.
well, I guess so. Like I guess you can kind of bounce back and forth like ideas and like IPs.
And the thing is, it's better to launch in November. So if there is a mistake, they can get it fixed before December for Christmas.
For Christmas stuff, for like Christmas packages and bonuses and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, the cool
That
thing
makes
too,
sense.
and one thing I was reading about earlier was that so if you buy a new iPhone
Yeah.
or a Mac or if you basically buy any Apple product that is like in their lineup, like a computer, a watch, a tablet, a laptop, like anything, you get 1 year free of this service.
Oh wow.
So like instantly, you're gonna have millions of people signed up for this
Yeah.
service. Like whoever just bought an iPhone, like everybody gets one.
yeah.
And like man, I wonder if that holds true. Like so, if I buy like an iPhone now and then like a watch later, then I get like another year.
Oh, you just
How
get
long
like
I have to
continuous,
redeem
just to
that?
like kind of like exploit the system.
Yeah, that's cool. It's only $60 a year, whatever. But yeah, apparently the like stockholder meeting they just had, they
Yeah.
were like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that, and like whatever. Who was it? It was like, it was
So what they're kind of pre-anticipating is that the first maybe couple of years or whatnot, they're not going to.
it was Goldman Sachs.
They're not going to make anything from it.
They were like, yeah, well, no, they're gonna make stuff. Like people are gonna pay for
well,
it.
they may pay for it at the end because either way, they got that year free to kind of make up their mind whether or not they want to keep it or not. But either way, you're still going to have a conglomerate, like millions of people buying their products with that year subscription. Like you said, does it automatically just gets enrolled with their account, or do they get like a subscription code?
Probably
that
have
they
to
gotta
like
punch
opt out. It's probably like 30-day free trial, but just extended to 1
Oh,
year.
and then like credit card
then
information,
and then it just starts
to
going after
guarantee
that.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Ooh, another cool thing about the iPhone 11 was that they released a green one.
Oh yeah, the army green one.
That's the one I got.
Seriously?
Yeah, I got the green one.
That's hilarious.
It was funny. I asked Nicole too, because like the idea here was like her phone broke.
Yeah.
And I always buy the new phone. Like she gets a free phone like whenever basically.
Yeah.
And then I always like hand it down because like there's nothing wrong with my phone, but her phone is totally jacked, right? So I have to like consult with her when I buy these because I'm like, will you take a green phone? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, oh, thank God. So it's just like,
Is it like dark green? Like
yeah, it's
apple
kind of like
green?
a dark green.
Yeah.
It's really hard to tell. Like until you see it in person, I feel like you're not going to know because like whatever screen you're on is just going to be like whatever.
Well, yeah, because like I guess like even like the back plate of it, isn't it like supposed to be like
like
some sort
matte.
of yeah.
It's matte now. Yeah, so I don't know. It looks really similar to the gray one that I currently have, but it's a little bit green. I think they just put a drop of green in there, which
you
like
go.
that's cool. I like green. They have silver, pink, and black as the other ones. I'm kind of like sick of everything, and like I like the pinky one. Like it's kind of like copper or salmon colored.
Yeah.
A little bit, and I'm just like, but like then the screen face is white, and I'm just like, oh, why can't we just have like a black phone
Yeah.
that has a little bit of color in it? But it's their pro model, so
I was
I
gonna
don't want
say
to mess around
'cause
with colors too much.
in worst case scenario, just get a damn case and then your problem solved.
Oh yeah, well I already ordered a case for it, but those are for the moment lenses, so I can put
Yeah.
my lenses on them. But that's a different thing. And then I really like that picture you sent me of
The Studio Ghibli one.
the forest spirit, but it just looks like the notches. Oh man, that was hilarious.
Was that the forest spirit from Princess Mononoke?
Yeah, Princess Mononoke. Yeah, that was awesome. What was I going to say too? Oh yeah, the last thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
Just real quick.
For sure.
Game of Thrones Targaryen prequel trailer. They're doing a show about the Targaryens. I thought they were going to do like some other thing, and like I think they've announced that they were going to do another prequel spinoff that was like completely unrelated, but the Targaryen prequel spinoff.
Yeah.
What's great about the Targaryen story is like it's a dynasty, right? And like I forget where they're starting. They're starting like right around the time of like Aegon's conquest.
Yeah.
But like it's like in my opinion, the book that I read, what was it, like Blood and Fire, Fire and Ice or whatever, Story of Fire and Ice or whatever. It was like the most interesting of the Game of Thrones. It's just like a history book talking about how like the Targaryens like took over the world.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was so cool. I'm so excited for this. I didn't know that they were doing Targaryens. I thought they were going to do like not Targaryens. Because they have all these other little spin-off stories. They have like a bunch of Game of Thrones books, and I thought they were going to do one of those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I
Apparently
thought
they're
that's
still doing
essentially
them.
that's where I thought I was going to lead with Robert Baratheon and Ned Stark. I thought it was going to be more or less based on their background and stories. I'm sure like their storylines are going to like clash at one point because
No.
obviously they go in war.
So
But-
this period, like it's like a history period. Like so, if you read this book or whatever,
Yeah.
Like for us, it's like the year like 1100 up to
Okay.
the year 1600 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Targaryen like takeover of West or like the Seven Kingdoms
Mm-hmm.
or whatever happened over like a series of times, and then you had like the Mad King, and then
Yeah.
you had this king and that king. Or
Well,
whatever.
because that's when they kind of had to clash in that fight. Because
Yeah.
at that point too, because that I think it's Aegon Targaryen. That's when he actually goes into combat with Robert Baratheon. That's why
It's
he
before
becomes.
that though. See, I don't think they're leading us into Game of Thrones. I think there's going to be a healthy gap in between.
Okay.
The video I sent you,
Yeah, like, I was
actually,
watching
it tells
the-
you what part of the history it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm super excited for this. This is
I don't
definitely
know. I
going to be
wonder how
like
that's
the
gonna turn.
weekly
But-
must-watch show, guaranteed. It's going to be just as exhilarating.
I
as
don't know,
Game of
but we
Thrones.
did get little turned off
Different
by
showrunners.
season 8.
There are different people running the show. Yeah, no, it's I think it'd be a little bit harder to mess this up, and I think that they had a contract with those other guys that like kind of fucked everything up.
Well, because and also too, I think the
could've
directors
just-
and everything too were doing their own.
This is fresh blood. This is a whole new show.
Star Wars or
Same
whatever.
story that I'm expecting. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
I'm anticipating it will be at least.
hoping so.
Yeah.
I'm holding you to it.
Anyways,
Fully accountable.
James, how does it feel to listen to other people nerd out?
Not as fun.
No? So James has been sitting here for 50 minutes.
Yes.
Did you? How was your Slurpee?
It was great.
Oh boy. Well, sorry about that. But now you know what it feels like. Bitch.
Oh,
I was always talking about magic cards. Yeah, well, we could talk about shit.
one day.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hey James,
Hey, what?
what's our plugs?
We have plugs.
Yeah, James.
There's a plug there.
Get out
Oh,
of
come on. No, James,
plug
you do the
there.
plugs. We need you to do the plugs.
I don't know the plug, to be honest.
What's our Instagram?
I know it's not Hotline Hangout. I know
Yeah,
it's
it's
something
Hotline
else.
Hangout Podcast.
No.
It's
That's
Hotline
right.
Hangout podcast.
What about our Twitter?
That one's a Hotline Hangout.
There
Where
you
can
go.
they email us, James?
HotlineHangout@gmail.com.
What should
Ooh.
they do on iTunes?
Like and comment and rate us.
Perfect. And
That's
where can
right.
they find us on YouTube?
Just type in Hotline Hangout. That's all I do.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it's not actually like a channel called Hotline Hangout. You just type in Hotline Hangout. It took us a
boom.
while, but we made sure that we show up in the search results.
Yes, sir. You gotta love those meta tags.
Yeah, the meta tags. Anyways, it's been a slice. Nice chatting with you boys, especially you, James.
Yep.
James is best when he's silent. This has been another episode of Hotline Hangout. My name is Shane.
I'm Steven.
My name is James.
Bye.
Bye, Shane's grandma.